the changes are happened for this year for the annual paper? They are made some changes in the annual paper. They are maintain the same pattern itself. That is, your question paper consists of 5 parts. As you are able to see it on the screen, it will be A, B, C, D, and E. Only changes is they are increased the number of questions in each part. So every time you are not getting any choices in the first part, but this time they are made some changes so that it will be helpful for the student. So get a good marks. Based on that, they have increased the number of questions by 5. You need to answer only 10 in the part A out of 15 questions. In part B, they'll ask for 18 questions. You need to answer only 10. In part C, again, it is a 3 marker. Hope you are knowing that part A is 1 marker, part B is 2 marker, part C is 3 marker, and part D is 5 marker, and part E is for a 10 marker. In each and every part or every section of the question paper, you will be having some choice. Means out of that 15 questions, you need to answer only 10. Out of the 18 problem, you should answer only 10. Out of 18, you should answer only 10. Like that, you should plan. So you may ask a question, sir, out of 15, can we take any 10 questions? Yes, it is your choice. You can take any 10 questions out of 15. This is all about your question paper pattern. And after that, hope you are knowing that in business mathematics, you will be having 5 parts: algebra, commercial arithmetic, trigonometry, analytical geometry, and calculus. These are the 5 different parts are there in business mathematics. Hope you're already aware about what are the chapters are there in algebra section, commercial arithmetic, trigonometry, analytical geometry, and calculus. For this academic year annual paper, they divided the algebra part. They're going to ask 21 marks from that algebra. It is purely based on the question paper what they are given from the board, and also purely based on the model paper, based on the question paper pattern. So in a part A, that is algebra section, if you thorough with only algebra part only, you can able to score 71 marks. Can anyone tell me what are the algebra chapter consists of the chapter? Algebra part consists of the chapters: matrices and determinants, permutation and combinations, probability, partial fractions, binomial theorem, mathematical logic. These are the 6 chapters. If you practice only this 6 chapters, you can able to score 71 marks. Like that, in commercial arithmetic, again you will be having 6 more chapters. If you cover all those things, you can able to score 46 marks. Now you think of, by completing the part 1 and part 2 itself, you can able to score more than 100 marks. So that what you can do, in case if you are not well enough to prepare for the trigonometry, analytical geometry, or calculus, only for the examination point of view. Children, I'm saying for examination point of view, not for the knowledge point of view. If you really wants to score out of more than 90 marks or 100 marks in the business mathematics, focused on first part and second part only, so that you can easily score more than 100. In case if you really are good in calculus part, so if you are practicing only calculus other than commercial arithmetic, you can easily focus on calculus part to score 59 marks, so that you can cross more than 100. So hope you are knowing that this time the question paper is consist for 195 marks. So next, the third aspect of that, I'm divided the each unit, that is unit 1, each chapters we are concentrating on 1 mark, 2 mark, 3 mark, 5 mark, and 6 mark. Since all these materials I will share with sir, he will forward it to you. Only one unit I'm going to discuss. Take an example, what I mentioned on the screen. In this particular chapter, take an example, matrices and determinants. You people are going to get 1 marker, 2 marker, 3 marker, 5 marker, and 6 marker. All the section questions you are going to get in this chapter. So 1 marker, there will be a 2 questions, 2 marker, there will be a 2 questions, 3 marker, there will be a 2 questions, 5 marker will be a 1 question, and 6 marker 1 problem. Don't expect any 4 marker from this chapter. So if you practice only matrices and determinants chapter itself, you are going to score 23 marks. And same way, the permutation combinations, in this you don't have any 6 marker problem. And For probability, we'll be not having any 5 marker or 6 marker, or in binomial theorem, and also partial fractions and mathematical logic. So I divided the each chapter into based on their weightage, like 1 mark, 2 mark, 3 mark, 5 mark. Just have a look. So what you can plan, if you are thorough with the algebra part itself, all the 6 chapters with preparations of solving some model papers, even I will also prepare some materials and all based on each section and each chapter. If you practice those first unit itself, you can easily score more than first class mark. So same way in the second part, which is, so here we have mentioned that if you cover the algebra part only, so you are going to score 71 marks, like 23 marks from first chapter, 11 marks from second chapter, 6 marks from third, 12 marks from fourth chapter, 8 marks from fifth chapter, and 11 marks from sixth chapter. Totally, you may cover 71 marks from this unit itself. So same way, I divided the commercial arithmetics also. You can expect entire unit, if you observe the entire unit of first, you can score, or you can expect only in matrices and determinants, the 6 marker problem. You are not supposed to get any of this unit will not consist of any of the 6 marker part at all. Is that clear? You will come to know what are the schematic representation of question paper and what positions 6 marker and what position you are going to get 5 marker, everything. The next slide. Now you observe the second unit, that is commercial arithmetic. Again, you will be having 6 more chapters, which is called ratios and propositions, bill discounting, stocks and shares, learning curve, linear programming problem, sales tax and VAT. So again, in this entire unit, you are able to score almost 46 marks. And again, don't expect any 6 marker problems from this particular unit. You may expect 1 mark, 2 mark, 3, and few chapters like ratio and proportions and bill discounting having 5 marker questions. Then in unit number 3, which is trigonometry, hardly you'll be having only 2 lessons, which is heights and distance. You already learned this in your 10th standard itself. Compound angle, multiple angle, submultiple angle, transformation formula. So in this unit, you're going to get 2 chapters. If you practice these 2 chapters, you're going to score 70 marks. And 1 5 marker you can expect from this unit. Finally, in the analytical geometry, again, you'll be having 2 chapters. One is circus, another one is parabola. In this, just observe this. In this, you can expect 1 6 marker problem. Hope you are knowing that what type of question they may ask in the 6 marker, like proving the given points are concyclic, or they will give a few points. They ask us to verify the given points are concyclic or not, or they may give a 3 points and they ask us to find out the equation of a circle. And in parabola section, you may expect 1 straightforward questions, calculating the focus, equation of directrix, or writing some characteristics. So in this unit, you may expect almost 12 marks, that is 9 plus 3. 9 from circles chapter, 3 from parabola chapter. And the next one, which is a calculus part. So few of the commerce students make an habit of leaving this entire section itself for not practicing for their for the examination point of view. But this is the unit which has more weightage for your entrance exams if you are opting for CA, CPT, or some banking exams and all. So what you should do, just practice some basic concepts. Take an example, what exactly meaning of derivatives? What is the meaning of derivative of some functions and all? So if you practice this unit thoroughly, you're going to score most 59 marks. So this is also, you can plan it and practice. Take an example, if you are aware about partial fractions chapter, you are going to get one problem in integration also. That is, in integration chapter will be having one part called integration by partial fractions. You should do one extra step other than the partial fractions, what you are doing in the chapter. That is integral of 1 divided by ax plus b formula. If you remember, would have easily scored 3 more marks. So this is all about unit by division of marks. Just, is anybody having a doubt regarding the marks distribution? Okay, later. So now, as I discussed, you'll be having different parts in the question paper. I have given the one example. Take an example. In the first question, what they ask or what they may ask based on which chapter. This first problems comes from matrices. Hope you are knowing they have given few model paper and also some problems based on this. First question you can expect from the matrices like scalar multiplication, transpose, or adding a two matrices. So just given a one problem here. If A is equals to, I've given a 2 cross 3 matrix. They ask us to find out 5 into A transpose. Hope you are knowing that what is the meaning of transpose and how to multiply a transpose with a scalar term, which is 5. So these type of problem you can expect in the first question, which is in the first question number 1. That is, they may ask for some definitions of matrices, or they may ask for few examples, or they may ask for calculating the scalar multiplication of matrix. That is in the first question number 1. In the question number 2, you can expect from determinant topic. What is the meaning of determinant topic? You need to find out the value of determinant by using their properties. I'm just given a few problems in the question number 2. Just check it out. Solve for x when the determinant x 7x which is equals to 0. What is the meaning of that? We need to expand this determinant. After expanding, we should equate it to 0 to calculate unknown term in that determinant. And the third problem, which is evaluate 3200 and 3201, 3202, 3203. This, when you are evaluating, you should be use some properties which are already aware about. What is the property? You just subtract row 2 by row 1. That means R1 by R2, or you can do it by column also to get the answer. So question 3 you can expect from permutations. They may ask you circular permutation problems or properties of combinations or properties of permutations. They'll give a word of one English letter. They ask us to calculate total number of letters without or with or without, meaning we can arrange like that. So I'm given a one problem here. How many different arrangements can be made with the letters of the word Monday? What are you supposed to do? Count the number of letters. That is, there are 5 letters in this. In case if any letters are repeated, you divide that by that many times what the letters are repeated. If it is not repeated, you just keep it as it is and write it as factorial. So what is the answer for the second one? It is 5 factorial. So same way in the fifth one, in how many ways can 10 people seated around a table? What you're supposed to do? It is a circular permutation. What is the formula for circular permutation? N minus 1 factorial. Should make it as 10 minus 1, which is 9 factorial. Is that clear? In question number 4, what you can expect in the question number 4? Problems from probability. So this is a simple problem you can expect. They may ask a total, find the probability of getting head by tossing a 1 coin, or total number of doublets for rolling a 2 dice. For if P of A complement is equal to 0.65, calculate what happens P of B. Then what is the probability of a child is born a boy? Simple set of questions they may ask. So what is the answer for the first one? If you throw a coin, what happens the probability? It is 1/2. If you're rolling a dice, what happens getting a doublets, even doublets? It is 2, 2, 4, 4, 6, 6. So it is 3/36, which is nothing but 1 divided by 12. So what is the answer for E? What is the probability of getting a child is a boy, born boy is a boy, born is a boy, which is 1/2. And in the question number 5, what you can expect in the question number 5 is from mathematical logic chapter. They may ask for negating the given propositions, or converting from verbal to a symbolic form. This and all they may ask in the problem number 5. They may be varying with the problems, but remember question number 5 in the paper that has to come from mathematical logic itself. Hope you are knowing how to solve all these problems. Negate the propositions 4 is an even integer or 7 is a prime number. What is the answer for this one? The answer is 4 is not an even number, even integer, or becomes what? And 7 is not a prime number. That is called negation. And how to write the symbolic form of proposition 3x equal to 9 and x less than 7? We should take it as 3x equal to 9 as one proposition, x less than 7 is another proposition. What happened the logical connectivity between those two, which is and? Use a notation P and Q. The sixth problem is from ratio proportions chapter. They may ask us to write a duplicate ratio, mean, and calculating the third proportions of the given one. So I'm given a few examples for that, which is find the triplicate ratio of 3:5. What's the triplicate ratio of 3:5? You should find the cube, that means raising the power by 3, which is 3 cube, 5 cube, and write the answer. The seventh one, they may ask us based on the stocks and shares. They may ask the definition of yield and finding out the amount or income obtained by 3,000 in 5% stock at market value of 90. How much stock can be? These are the different types of problems they may ask. And remember, there may be chances of asking brokerage part also. So one problem they may ask from this chapter based on brokerage. So you know how to calculate the brokerage part. So use that concept and calculate. And in entirely the learning curve problem, please do remember there may be definitions is always an important thing. Define index of learning, write the learning curve equations, define learning curve, and few by just for a few time they may ask find out the learning effect, that means index of learning for 90% learning effect or 80% learning effect. Hope you are knowing how to solve this problem. Just don't worry, whoever needs the solution part of all those things, we are ready with the solution part also. Once you are done with the practicing all those things, if you really want the solution part, we'll share with you. Is it okay? Yeah. So same way, the ninth question, it's from trigonometry chapter. Hope you are knowing the trigonometry concepts and all, multiple angles, submultiple angles, transformation formula, and calculating the other than the standard angles. What's the meaning of other than standard angles? The angles in the form of 15, 25, 35, other than 0, 30, 45, 60, and 90. Other than any of this, we call it as not a standard angles. How to calculate that? We need to make sure that by applying compound angle concept. So same way for 10th question, you can expect from parabola. This is an important one. You need to remember how to compare how many different types of parabola we have. We have 4 different types of parabolas. Y square is equal to 4ax, y square is equal to minus 4ax, x square is equal to 4ay, x square is equal to minus 4ay. Upward, downward, right side, left side. So based on this, you are going to get one question. They may ask us to calculate length of lattice rectum also. It is called LLR. So how to calculate LLR? For any type of parabola, the LLR will be 4 times of E. And the next question that is 11th one, then expect from limits topic. You have varieties of problems with limit, but concentrate on direct substitutions. Whenever you have a polynomials without getting an indeterminate form, how to calculate the limits? You should go for direct substituting the values of an x, what they are given. And you remember another type of problem, which is when the limit extends to 0, what happens for sine x divided by x, which gives you 1. That formula you should remember so that you can get 1 more marks. So then a 12th one and 13th one is based on derivatives. So a simple derivative, remember, don't go to an in-depth of derivatives or calculating the derivatives of few functions without using that. That is, Yeah. Yeah. So derivative of x plus 1 divided by x. So normal derivative of x is what? With respect to x, it is 1. How to differentiate 1 by x? So take an x part to the numerator, convert that into minus. That means x to the power of n concept. Calculate minus 1 divided by x to the power of 2. Hope you are knowing the implicit and explicit functions also. Whenever the problem, it is not in terms of y alone. It in terms of both combinations of y as well as x. So what you supposed to do? Differentiate straight away to calculate dy by dx and group it out. And 14th and 15th one is based on integration part. Even here also just normally remember only the normal simple integration terms. Thorough with all the formulas. Is thorough with all the formulas. So just calculate the integration by applying the normal formulas. You easily score another 1 marks. This 15 questions based on your 1 marker. Please check out if anybody having a doubts regarding this or any suggestion if you need. I'll wait for 2 more minutes. Then I'll go to 2 marker section. And my suggestion is to how to practice for the paper. Since you practice according to your best chapters which you are comfortable, you have a more choice that will gives you a more choices so that it will become blank in the examination hall. What you should do, you practice certain chapters thoroughly and be confident enough to attend those questions only. Whenever you have a choice more, don't feel that I'll get a good marks if you have a more choice. No, it is actually a drawback thing. So what you should do, you practice, mark few chapters, then practice those chapters thoroughly. Only concentrate only on those. Don't go to solving the problem which you are not practiced well. So then in the part B, so you'll be having another 18 questions in part B. I've taken a 1-1 problem in each part. So you can expect problems of algebra of matrices, like they'll give a matrix to you. They ask us to verify one equation, which is in the form of a square minus 4a plus 3i. You know what to do? You need to find out a square value first, which is multiplication of matrix A with A, then multiply with scalar, and I is indicating what? Yes. So, which is indication of I is identity matrix. So solve that, you'll get a marks. Verify with an LHS part with an RHS part, so that you will get an answer for matrix A, which is a square minus 4a plus I is equals to 0. Verify that conditions. You may expect this type of problems in the 16th question. They'll give a matrix to you. You need to verify one equation, or they'll give a matrix A and B. They ask us to check out what happened for matrix A plus matrix B, addition of 2 matrices, subtraction of 2 matrices, like that. And in the 17th question, you may expect determinant proof. That means properties of determinant proof they may ask. Hope you are knowing that there will be a 6 to 7 properties of based on determinants. You thorough with that properties, and also expansion of 3 cross determinants, which is thorough. So it will get another 2 marks. So 16th and 17th questions based on matrices and determinants. And 17th question you can expect from probability, that means permutation and combination chapter. So here you should be thorough with the calculating the number of ways you can arrange one question, 6 gentlemen and 4 ladies to be seated in a round table. There will be a certain condition, which is no 2 ladies are together. That means what? You are not supposed to get 2 ladies one after the other. Yeah. So next 19th one you can expect from the probability chapter. This is an important one. The more usually they'll ask this type of questions only in the examination. Please careful about this. What is that? We call it as a conditional probability. What is the conditional probability? Whenever they ask us to calculate B bar A, probability of B bar A, we have a formula for that. What is that? P of A intersection B divided by P of A. So you should find out first P of A intersection B by using one of the formula, calculate that value. Since all those things, problems, you have done it. That's the reason I'm not discussing any solution part that. I'm just giving an idea what position you can expect all these questions. Is that okay? Ritu Shri, Mahesh, Shashi, Ugar. Just you can unmute and talk. Okay, fine. So now, so comes for the 20th question. So here they may ask for the probability, that means for mathematical logic. So they will give a simple compound proportions to you. They ask us to find out what is the truth value of that compound propositions by giving the simple propositions truth values. So how to calculate this value? You replace the truth values of P, Q, R, what they are given, calculate one after the other. Like an example, the truth value of Q, what they are given as 2. What happened? True. What happened? The negation of true becomes false. So what happened? False and false, it is false. So what happened? True implies false, which is false. So that is the answer for the question. The compound truth value of the compound proportion, which is false. There will be a 5 logical connectivities. Hope you are knowing that. And, or, not, if then, double implies. Conjunction, disjunction, negation, conditional, biconditional. Am I correct? Yes. Next one. So 21st one, you can expect from the chapter ratio. There is also more frequently asked the problem. They'll ask us to calculate two numbers are in the ratio of 3:5. You are supposed to calculate what you are supposed to add so that the ratio what they are given will be reduced to another ratio. So what you are supposed to do? You should subtract or you should in this problem they ask us to add x to both the ratio which they are given in 3:4, 3:5. That is 3 plus x divided by 5 plus x, so that will becomes to what? 2:3. It is 2 by 3, converting in terms of what? Fraction. So cross multiply, you get the x value that you should calculate. So 22nd one is based on the properties. That means problems on propositions. They may ask continued proportions value, or there may be ask one statement questions based on that propositions. You already aware about one person can do a work in 10 days, another person can do the work in 3 days if both combinedly doing the work in 3 days. If one is left the job, like that type of problem you can expect for 2 marks. And the 23rd one, it is also an important one which they frequently ask. Bill discounting, they ask us to calculate legally due date. Hope you are knowing that how to calculate legally due date. Bill period plus the billed period plus 3 days legally, that means 3 days extra, that is grace days we call. So what is the formula for legally due date? Bill period plus legally due date plus 3 days grace. So use that and calculate. So 24th and 25th, both are the questions they may ask from stocks and shares. So inclusive of sales stocks. So then which is the better investment? In this better investment, you should calculate yield. What is the meaning of an yield? You need to find out 8% of 110 means 8 divided by 100 into 110, 9 divided by 100 into 98. Out of this, which yield gives you more? It is the better investment. The 26th one you can expect from heights and distance chapter. So simple problem they'll ask in heights and distance. There will be angle of elevation they'll give. You should find out the shadow of a pole, how many times they are given. So based on that, calculate the height of the pole or shadow of the pole by giving the conditions. And 27th one is from trigonometry by using a tan of a plus b formula. So what about the tan of a plus b, which is equals to tan a plus tan b whole divided by tan 1 minus tan a into tan b. You're supposed to replace the given values in that. Make sure that the value should be equals to 1, so that you will get tan pi by 4. So you can cancel out tan and tan on either side. So you get a final answer as sum of two angles will be equals to pi by 4. So 28th one is from Parabola. What I've already discussed. In Parabola chapter, you just expect characteristics of the given parabola. You just think out y square is equal to 16x they are given. What type of parabola it is? It is right-sided parabola. If it is parabola is right-sided, the focus is on positive x-axis. If the focus is on positive x-axis, what happen the vertices of the focus? A comma 0. What happen the A value? You compare with the given parabola, the standard one, you get A as 4. So what happen the focus finally? 4 comma 0. So how to calculate length of the lattice rectum? There is a formula which is 4A. So how to multiply? How to calculate length of lattice rectum? Multiply A with 4. So A value is 4 again. So 4 into 4 is 16. Then the 29th one is from limits. So for this, you need to use splitting the limit for each function. Make sure that this will be reduced to a tan theta divided by theta. What is the formula for tan theta by theta? Which is, so same way, the next part is from infinite series differentiation. Then the 31st one, this is again an important one. They will give a distance to you. It is S is indicating a distance. You are supposed to calculate the velocity and acceleration initially. What is the meaning of velocity? Whenever they are given the displacements to you, you should differentiate once with respect to time. That will gives you velocity. If you differentiate with respect to time twice, that will gives you acceleration. What is the meaning of initial velocity? At the time is 0. So what happens if I differentiate 1 time pi x square plus 4t minus 8? It becomes 5 into 2t, that is 10t plus 4. So replace t as 0, it becomes 4 seconds. That is the initial velocity when t is 0. Then the 32nd one is from application of integrations. So they will give a total cost to you. You should find out marginal cost and average cost. So what is the meaning of a marginal cost? You need to find out the integral part of the total cost what they are given. Sorry, whenever they are given the total cost to you, they ask us to find out the marginal cost. Please do the derivatives part of that. Then definite integral concept, that is integral of 1 to 2, 1 by x. What is the integral of 1 by x? Which is from log x. So then we replace the upper limit and lower limit to get the value for this. So you can expect these type of problems in 2 marker. I'm just given the schematic representation of what are the position of the problems. We are given a few examples based on that. Is that okay? Yes, Sridhar, you wanted to ask something? Sridhar? Sridhar, ಏನಾರ ಡೌಟ್ ಇದೆಯಪ್ಪ 1 ಮಾರ್ಕರ್ ಮತ್ತೆ 2 ಮಾರ್ಕರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ? Okay, coming to a 3 marker section. Same way, in 3 marker also, we'll be having 18 questions. I've just listed out all the 18 questions in what are the position they may ask the problems. So we'll discuss one by one. Just check out. In the 3 marker first problem, you can expect the Cramer's rule. So what is the Cramer's rule? You need to find out delta x, delta y, and calculate the x value, y value by using the formula, which is x is equals to delta x by delta and y is equals to delta y by delta. Hope you are knowing what is the meaning of delta and all. It is a determinant for the given equation. Since anybody needs to solve the problems, if any concept if you are not able to understand, you can ask. I'm just giving an idea about how the question paper, what are the positions you can expect the questions from the each chapter. Yeah. So 25th one, again, the proving problem, which is based on the properties of determinants. Again, you will be having 6 to 7 properties. Based on that, you will be having problems. That is called proving problem. Then it is from combinations chapters. So 3 marker from combinations chapter. There will be chances of asking total number of straight lines, total number of triangles when there are few points are collinear in the plane and few of them are non-collinear. So you can expect that type of problems in the 36th position. 27th one is based on probability. So here you may expect one question from probability, one question from combination. 38th one is based on binomial theorem. Since binomial theorem, you need to aware about calculating the middle term, calculating the general term, coefficient of term. Based on that, they'll ask one question in 3 marker also this time. And 39th one is from partial fractions. The simple partial fraction they'll ask. You need to split this into a given fraction into a partial fractions, find out their values. And 40th position, mathematical logic. In this mathematical logic chapter, they always ask in 3 marker, writing the converse, inverse, and contrapositive of the given compound propositions. In the 40th position, 41st position, you may expect trigonometry chapter, that is proving the multiple angles formulas, that is sin 3a, cos 3a, tan 2a, sin 2a, cos 2a for problems. And this time, there is application of derivatives problems you may expect from 42nd position. So based on like side of a square increasing at the rate. Remember, when it is increasing or decreasing means this comes under rate of change. Rate of change means what? It is dt. So it's dx divided by dt, where x is indicating sides of the square. So for this, you need to remember all the mensuration formulas. That is area of square, area of cube, then square, volume of a sphere, volume of cylinder, like this. Then problems on derivatives. This is an important one. They ask one compulsory question for writing the derivatives of 15 functions by using first principle category. So then problems based on sales tax and what? Problems based on circles, problems based on continuity, and problems based on differentiation. There will be a 2 different criteria and differentiation. 3 marker must be taken from only these 2 concepts itself, nothing else. 3 marker if they are given from differentiation means that has to be from parametric form, one has to be from logarithmic form. If you practice logarithmic form and parametric form thoroughly, you can easily score 6 more marks in differentiation. And then from applications of derivatives, they'll ask based on maximum value and minimum value. And integration, as I told you, if you practice the partial fractions chapter thoroughly, you can expect one question in integration also, which is in the 51st position. So first you need to do the partial fraction, converting the given terms into a, that means given fractions into a partial fraction, then use one of the standard result of integration and find out the value that comes in the 51st position. And the another question from integration we can expect from integration by parts. That is by applying ILATE method. Hope you are knowing that ILATE method or not. Correct? So this is the 3 marker. You can expect the position of the each questions and one example for each position. Let's have a look for 1 minute. Yes, yes. D. which is carries a more weightage. So you're going to get 30 marks from this chapter by answering only 6 questions. But number of choices we will be having 12 questions from this. So you need to answer only 5. That means only 6 question answer. Each question is carries for 5 marks. So first problem you can expect from this, which is algebra of matrices. They'll give a 2 matrix to you. You need to verify whether the matrix product will be commutative or not, or they may ask for calculating the associative laws and commutative laws or distributive laws based on the algebra of matrices. So 52nd one is for based on matrices algebra. What is the meaning of an algebra? They may ask us to calculate addition of 2 matrices, multiplication of 2 matrices, like that. And 53rd one is based on binomial theorem. As I told you, binomial theorem, if you thorough with calculating the coefficient of any one particular term, middle term, or finding out the general term of a given binomial, would have score another 5 marks. So next one, 54th position, you can expect the partial fraction chapter, that is resolving the given fractions into a partially and calculate the values. In the 55th position, you may ask, this time they'll indicating that one question for permutation combinations, that too compulsorily from word problem. They'll give one word to you. They ask 4 different sub questions so that you can get 4 marks or 5 marks totally. Remember, for solving the permutation combinations chapter, it needs a small answer. That means each question carries small answer. Take an example. In this problem, they ask assassination. You need to find out the number of ways of arranging this assassination. What you should do? Count the number of letters in this word. Take an example. It may be having 13 letters. Out of that, how many letters are repeated? A is repeated thrice, S is repeated 4 times, and N is repeated twice. Write those number of letters which is repeated number of times. Take an example. 13 factorial divided by 4 factorial into 3 factorial into 2 factorial. That is the final answer. How many of them are begin with T and end with T? They ask. What you should do? Fix the first letter as T, last letter as T, and arrange the remaining letters in between. That is the way you can solve the given problem if they are given in terms of word. And 56th one is compulsorily from mathematical logic. No doubt in this, they'll ask one tautology or contradiction or logically equivalent. What is the meaning of tautology? The given compound proposition, if it gives all the values in the last column as true, is called tautology. If the given compound propositions gives you entire last column as all false, it is called contradiction. Logically equivalent means they will give a 2 compound propositions to you. We should get the corresponding elements of each compound proposition should be same. That is called logically equivalent. And 57th question is based on propositions. If you practice the example problems, what they are given in the textbook, it is more than enough. I'm given a 1 problem to you. 2 taps will fill the tank separately, means there will be 3 taps, 2 will fill, 1 will drain off. If all the 3 taps are open at a time, what is the time required for filling up the entire tank, so they can calculate the capacity of the tank? What's the meaning of a capacity? Calculating their volume. Then learning curve problem. This is like a free hit problem. Compulsorily you should attend this. Very easiest way of scoring 5 marker, the learning curve chapter. So you need to remember a table, input, output, what is the cumulative timings and total hours. So if you're using one format, calculate that 90% of learning effect, 80% means whatever the effect, learning effect they are given, that much you apply and calculate the value. And 59th one, it is from LPP, that is linear programming problem. In this particular chapter, they'll definitely ask only the direct problem. They won't ask any statement questions in 5 marker. You should do this problem by using graph. They'll provide the graph sheet to you. So making use of that graph sheet, you should solve. If you practice this LPP problems thoroughly, chances are there to ask the same type of questions in statistics also, those who are opting for statistics subject. And then the next one is from bill discounting, then from transformation formulas, and 62nd one is from successor differentiation only. In differentiation chapter, we'll be having varieties of problem, chain rule, product rule, quotient rule, implicit, explicit, logarithmic, infinite series, second order derivatives, and parametric form. For this academic, that means for those who are appearing for this year annual exam, since you have a advantage of getting each part as one problem. In one marker, they'll ask one chain rule problem, one direct problem. In two marker, they'll ask one implicit and one logarithmic form. And in three marker, they'll ask one parametric form, another one logarithmic form. In five marker, they'll ask successive differentiation, which is called second order derivative. In the 63rd portion, you may expect applications of integration, calculating the area bounded by a two curve or a curve and a straight line. So these are all 5 marker part. You can get totally you are going to get 12 questions out of that 12 should you need to attempt only 6. So according to me, in case if you are ignoring the calculus part totally, you focus on learning curve, focus on LPP, focus on partial fraction, focus on binomial theorem, focus on mathematical logic and matrix. Easily you can attempt 6 questions. Please take a minute of time and check out. Yes, student. The last part, which is part E, here you should be careful. You will be having 3 questions in this part E section. Pick one complete problem out of 3. That means in part E what happened? There will be subdivisions A, B, A, B, A, B. So you need to pick one complete problem, solve both the questions in that question number. Like if you are picking up 64th question, you should solve A and B. You are not supposed to do 64th first question, 65th second question. You should not do it in that way. You should do it only for one complete problem from 64th. So in 64th, if you are choosing the first A, you should do the 64th B question itself. So here they already mentioned that the questions has to be selected from that theorem, which is limit x tends to A, x to the power of A minus A to the power of A. That is compulsory question. It is must and should. And along with that, they'll introduce one problem from binomial theorem. Or you can choose 65th question, which is based on circles chapter. That is, as I said, concept, proving that concyclic point and all. And the B problem, you can ask for statement problems of LPP. And the another one, 61, the last problem, it is from matrix method. It is from matrices and determinants chapter. Along with that, they'll include heights and distance. So you have to pick one complete problem from part E, do only one question. So this is all about your question paper pattern for this academic year. Children, my suggestion is to how to maintain or how to manipulate the timing so that you can attempt all. You do first only 10 problems in part A, only 10 questions in part B, only 10 questions in part C, only 5-6 questions in part D. one question in part E. Don't do any extra thing in the beginning of the answers when you're writing the answers. After the time, if it is time permits, still you have a time to complete. What you can do, write only 2 extra problem in 1 marker, 2 extra problem in 2 marker, 2 extra problem in 3 marker, only 1 extra questions in 5 marker. Don't do any extra thing in 10 marker. While writing only, you should be careful. What is the question you are selecting in part E? Don't do any extra questions in part E. You are supposed to answer one complete question. Do that one complete problem. Don't do any extra questions in part E. If time permits, do extra problems in 1 to part B. So if you are able to do, if you are still time permits, do one extra question in part D, that is part D 5 marker, part C 3 marker, part B 2 marker, part A 1 marker. Even there also, don't do complete questions. That means don't attempt all the 18 questions in part B. It is no use. What you should do, first attempt only 10. After completion of paper, still if its time permits, then do only 2 problem extra. Don't do more than that. Is that clear? Yes. So this is all about the question paper pattern. And the easy way of scoring good marks in your subject, especially in basic mathematics, business mathematics subjects, focus on 5 marker and 10 marker, few 3 marker, and practice the questions. Make sure that whenever you are practicing it, write all the steps and do. Clear? So I wish you all the best for your upcoming exam. Do well. Yes, sir.
Questions? Students, do you have any questions? Sir is an expert on mathematics. You can ask any questions or doubts you have.
Sir, 1 second, sir. Children, just for the time limits, I have discussed entire question paper pattern with some problems. Whenever you need any suggestion or any question, particularly the answer part and all, please contact sir so that I can share the materials, everything with sir, you will get it. If you need anything, guidelines regarding to your examination point of view, please freely to ask. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. I take this opportunity to thank Basavaraj sir, being his busy schedule. Even with having an event at the college, he has taken his opportunity to come down and to help us in this. On behalf of Chanakya University, on behalf of all the students present, I wholeheartedly thank you, sir. Sir, thank you. Students, let us stick on. We will start our business studies track by 2 o'clock. Please take a break for lunch and come back. We need not log out. You can stay logged in, and we will also not disconnect the session. So if anybody interested can keep joining it. Thank you. Sir, thank you, sir.
Sir, thank you so much, sir. It is a great opportunity for me to interact with the students. Students, still we are ready to help you out in any of the time. Please contact sir so that in case if you have regarding to any of the problem, we'll do it. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Students, we will have Soumya ma'am in a while. We will be handling the business studies, very important aspect actually. We will handle the business studies and its importance by 2 o'clock. Please have your lunch and come back, and we will not disconnect. We will stay logged in. We are going to start the business studies by 2 o'clock. We have just completed